that you had you you could you do you want you could do so you do you could you want him to do you so much you could do anything.
What's up, guys? It's your boy Benny. Do you invest? I invest a little bit in the stock market. You know, you throw a little money around, you look at some companies you believe in, and you put some money towards it. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. You like to study the companies, and you like to look at their leadership and see if they're competent, right? And I, of course, would not invest in a company if their leader had dementia. If they chose their CEO as a man who couldn't walk, who couldn't talk, who couldn't think, who couldn't do basic math, or remember basic lines, well, then you'd be like, I don't think I'm going to invest in that company. That is precisely what's happening right now in the United States of America. We have a CEO who has full-blown dementia. You can see it on clear display. When Joe Biden goes and does an interview on MSNBC, who are the Praetorian Guards, like sucking his toes live on air, and Joe Biden just walks off in the middle of the interview, like this isn't even a tough interview. He's not walking off because he's getting hit with hard questions. He's walking off because he has a empty head and a full diaper.
And the ones that didn't vote for your bills but run on them.
That's right.
Mr. President, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's great to have you. Thank you.
There he goes.
Don't go anywhere. It's a very exciting day around here.
There he goes.
We'll have reaction and analysis to everything we just heard.
He's just walking off. Joe Biden just walks off in the middle of the interview. Joe Biden's a fossil. He knows how these things go. You wait for the commercial break. You don't get up in the middle of the interview and walk off with your mic, your lav, your box. What the hell is he doing? Look at this. Guy just wanders off. There he goes. Right in the middle of the live shot. Well, now, ladies and gentlemen, some of the corporate media reporters who have interviewed Joe Biden, Sage Steele, specifically at ESPN, are coming forward with what it's like to actually interview Joe. Sage Steele claims that Biden struggled to finish sentences in unaired portion of recorded interview. Steele recounted an interview on Bill Maher's podcast, claimed Biden trailed off after recounting his college football greatness. Steele, an outspoken critic of Biden, called him a terrible president, but said that he's an even worse interview. The interview was concluded via satellite and pre-record. Steele said that technical issues delayed the start of the official interview, forcing her to BS and chit-chat to fill time. Joe Biden struggled to even finish sentences. I had to chit-chat waiting for us to start rolling. They keep a black, curtain over the lens of the camera, so you can't see him until the last second, but you can hear, and we're chit-chatting. So I can hear him, and he goes, "What's this for?" And he's like, "Who am I talking to? What? What's her name?" This is like a Naked Gun movie, right? Where you have Leslie Nielsen, the famous comedian, who does plays adult. Man, this interview is absolutely bombshell stuff. We love Sage Steele on this channel. Check it out.
He's in person for Clinton as well. And then I said, oh, so you were a receiver? And he started to explain it. And here's the saddest thing. His voice just trailed off. He said, I was good. And then he went silent and he goes, oh, never mind. No, you're laughing. I thought it was so sad because I realized that's why he was in his basement during the whole election cycle. Right. Because even then, he couldn't finish his sentences. He struggled. So forget about politics. I don't care. I didn't vote for him. However, that made me sad to realize.
So you didn't vote for Biden either?
No. Wow. Based. So here's one clip. You can go ahead and watch on YouTube the original interview. Ladies and gentlemen, you can go ahead and see right here. This is the original interview posted by ESPN. Sage Steele is no longer with ESPN. President Biden speaks about fans returning to stadiums, vaccination process. So Joe Biden here with this massive wad of papers. Look at all these notes. Look at that huge, massive wad of notes. You can see it here, too, in the New York Post cover image for their headline of this article. You can see Joe Biden fumbling with this massive pile of notes for the softball interview on ESPN. Here, have a listen. This is what she's talking about.
Tough fans.
They are tough, and what I would do to be a fly on the wall with the First Lady yelling and screaming at the TV with the dog right there. I imagine you just have to walk out of the room at times, right?
Well, I mean, I do, but one of the things is that, you know, it's interesting. I thought I was a pretty good athlete in high school, and when I played baseball and football, and my brothers as well. But the real athletes in our family are the women. I have a young daughter, a granddaughter, I should say, who is all-state in 2 sports.
Wow.
And almost in a 3rd sport. I got all the girls in my family they're really competitive, good athletes. I have a niece who was an All-American, and then just some really, really talented women in my family. So I take the back seat.
Oh, yes. Okay. Well, Joe Biden does indeed take the back seat when it comes to cognitive capacity and basic IQ. Interviewing Biden is the saddest thing. He couldn't even finish sentences, says Sage Steele, ex-ESPN host. You don't have to believe this. I mean, you don't have to, like, say, oh, yeah, she didn't vote for Biden. Maybe she's just angry. Maybe she's a big Trump fan. You don't have to believe her. You just literally watch MSNBC. These people are like have like a psychosexual fetish with Joe Biden. You just watch MSNBC. This is what it's like to interview Joe Biden. In the middle of the interview, he just gets up for some reason. Nearly kicks back the chair that he's sitting in. Oops, I crap my pants, walks right off the set. And it's not just, of course, like when he's in an interview. He very rarely does interviews. Joe Biden, when he's signing bills, when he's doing bill signings, forgets to sign the bill.
The bad news is I'm coming back to shake your hand, but I forgot I didn't sign the order. All that talk and no action.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, you have a president of the United States who is sworn to defend, obviously, our founding documents, to defend us as the American people. I started this read by saying, would you invest in a company that had this guy as the CEO of the company? Of course you would not. Would you trust this man to balance your checkbook, to do the taxes? Would you trust this guy at H&R Block to keep you out of prison? Of course not. It's an embarrassment. It's an embarrassment, and shame on, truly, shame on Democrats for doing this to this country. It is a practice in humiliation. Maybe that's what they want, because I really do believe that they hate America. You would have to hate America to misremember our founding documents in this manner. We have put together a compilation of Joe Biden trying to remember the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution. And it's not pretty. You should, at the very least, be able to recite some lines from the documents you were sworn in on. This is the current state of America, and I think we've entered the second chapter of idiocracy here. Watch.
Because that's what we are. That's who we are. The idea is we hold these truths self-evident. That all men and women, we haven't lived up to it completely, but we've always widened the arc. We hold these truths to be self-evident. But all men and women are created equal, endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights, including life, liberty, etc. We say, we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all women and men are created equal, endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights. That we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men and women are created equal. We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by you know the thing. But at the end of the day, we've always found ways to come together. We can find that unity again. Then the message said, end of message.